four-man mosh pit followed by Entomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're gonna follow up, and they're gonna get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my God! When does this happen? Everybody's dead.
G'day, and welcome to my Division C casting day. I guess I said I was gonna wake up my voice, but apparently it is not going to be woken up anytime soon, because apparently I am tired beyond belief, and I've only just remembered how I set up replays, so apparently I've not done a recast replay in a while. So today I'll be just going through Division C. As I said I would, I just have a wheel that I spin on the side that is going to determine what I play. So while I don't know exactly what we're going to have coming up, I do know that I am going to enjoy this series. And somehow, the wheel decided that I'm kind of going to cast my own shame today, as we do have Cloud and Mind facing off against Greg. I did actually play in this series, only one of the matches, so I don't know quite how the first one goes. The second one I more or less do, and I do know these are quite good, close, longer games. So, without further ado, I am going to open up the first map, Cursed Hollow. I haven't looked at who map banned who first picked. I should know, but I have forgotten. I did the map bans, I did the map picks, but I have completely forgotten what we were doing. I think they had first pick and I think we were map, I don't know. Anyway, we're in the game, so let me swap it on over. So, on the left side of Cloud of Minds, we had Ruffian on the Fell-starred Kian is on the Malthael, Peach on Anduin, Star Knight on Arthas, and Trelena on the Tychus. Me on the right side, we do have Chim Chim on Zul, we have Snick on the Gazlo? Yes, I've accidentally pushed a button. We have Syphysis on the Diablo, Climbable Unk on the Cassia, and Corrosive on Brightwing. As I said, did not play in this map. I am in a later one instead. If we see some good luck, have funds come out, and let's get everything underway. Trelena getting very aggressive, ready for a grenade, hitting Climbable Unk and Syphysis. Not quite what they're wanting off the bat, just taking a little bit of damage. So, first damage coming out by them. Nicely done. Birds getting traded. We see a lot going down. And yeah, meanwhile, we do see Greg has already started soaking Chim Chim up top, Snick down the bottom. See Malthael going down to deal with them, which Malthael does reasonably well into Gazlo, just because Gazlo puts out those turrets and Malthael can heal off him as well. Meanwhile, we see a 3-man rotate going top, Chim Chim not knowing they're quite in danger yet, but they may do soon enough. Also to note in terms of stacks, we do have the Frost Presence from Arthas. Gathering Storm on... Oh no, I see where this is going. Chim Chim has been caught out of position. Star Knight actually misses the root. Bone Armor pops immediately and is actually Shade. So they will get that evasion as well, being able to get themselves out of danger pretty quickly. Then also the last thing I haven't mentioned is Thunderstruck, and we have Gazlo's, oh not Gazlo's, Diablo's baseline souls. Simsa steps into Star Knight. That means Star Knight misses that route. Just natural assumption people are going to step back. We do see Star Knight is backing up, gets flipped by Diablo, pushed back in. A lot of damage coming out into Star Knight, however, it is not quite enough for it to deal with. Meanwhile, Gazlo does go down bottom to a Tychus sticking on them, as well as, well, a Malthael just doing their general percent damage stuff. Star Knight once again taking a decent amount of damage, however, its Spell Power Camp does a lot to kind of nullify that damage coming out. Nice route onto the Cassia, getting yet another stack of that Frost Presence quest. We are at 4 now, needing 20 to complete it, and once 20 has been completed, it's going to be a shorter cooldown, and more people are going to be routed by the path itself, and not just the the final kind of ring that it provides. That it spawns? That it casts? I don't know. I'm doing this horribly. I'm saying this horribly. I need to sit up more. Give me a moment. Synthesis flips that boy. That's just too high now. This feels right. Right, objective coming up is going to be the first of the curse. I guess we'll see how this goes. I do know... I didn't actually watch this just because... you know, I had spectators at the time. I don't think anyone was streaming their point of view as far as I know. Stun coming out to Synthesis. Synthesis taking a lot of damage. Trelena was just putting damage into him the whole time. And we do see now Synthesis taking a lot of damage trying to back out. But no, Star Knight with that slow, just not letting them escape. And that is the tank down for Greg. You know what, we do see Chim Chim and Ruffian is still fighting top. That lightning shield, that skeletal shield doing a lot to kind of keep him alive. And actually Gathering Storm is not getting stacked quite as fast as Ruffian may like, which may come back to bite them. Right, sorry, I'm just going to be a little bit distracted. Sorry about that. Right, I am back. We see Chim Chim forced to back up. Trelena did go up for a rotate. Did get a decent amount of damage out. And it's actually just going to have force for back. Objective coming up mid. We may actually see Chim Chim go there this time. No, apparently not. We're just going to have Corrosive Unk clearing that top siege camp. And we see the rotation starting to come out now for both teams. Peach and Star Knight already set up, which... Oh, my throat. I'm going to have a drink after this map. Oh, after this series, I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, just... Synthesis charging in. I don't think it may have been a wise choice. You didn't need to really get in there immediately. It is only the second curse. What are these actually called? The second curse channel thing. I actually have never known what these called. Second objective was up. And that's only the second of the 3 curses for Cloud of Minds, but so by no means do you need to kind of die for that. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly get a drink. I will leave it on these bosses and be right back. Sorry about that. I now have myself a glass of water, so it should be good. But keep in mind, this is a fight where Cloud of Minds are up 10s. We do see Starlight directly on top of Chim Chim. Chim Chim actually getting slowed consistently. We do see that is Last Rites popped. We do see that Army of the Dead was popped as well. And that is a pretty clean fight for the side of Cloud of Minds. And now Greg has to defend a half-elf boss without towers shooting at it, while Ruffian can pretty freely clear the objective, yeah. Oh, stun going out onto Snick. Snick trying the best to just clear that wave. And Diablo doing the best to deter the side of Cloud of Minds pushing in, but Diablo is a bit susceptible to Atychus, as many tanks are. Right, that's 2 forts now for the side of Cloud of Minds. Greg didn't even give a top one with Boss. That very good defense by Ruffian up there to make sure it didn't go down. And all the while, there's this pressure being pushed in. A lot of pressure coming out. Trelena decides not to go for the greedy kind of, I can get what damage I can, and just decides to go for, like, a responsible... Yeah, just like a responsible player would. I certainly would be, if I play damage, you know something's already gone wrong. Especially if I'm playing something like Tychus, which I'm bad at. But if I'm playing, I'm like, yes, do damage. Get the kill. When really, I know what the correct play is. I just make the dumb play almost every time. So Vasada Greg is really now in going to be in a spot where like, what do we need to do to catch up? I know that they'll be shot call, like someone of them will be shot calling at least, maybe a little bit frustrated, but they're just in general playing quite safe. They're getting the soak they need and then moving away. Which I would, again, as I say a lot of games, I would like to see the lane get frozen more near the forts and then just kind of get what soak you can, just from a safe distance, and just kind of see if you can deny the XP for the other team, but I don't know if that is going to happen. We see a large rotation coming out, Snick alone. Does see Kian, decides to back out as we don't know where the rest of the team is, and it looks like there's good communication here, everyone backing off a little bit while there's this uncertainty, but Star Knight has shown in the Ring of Sight, Ring of Vision. So is Loon and Snick and Synthesis now, so they decide just, you know what, let's back out. Let's not have any major issues here. Defense happening mid, fair enough. Corrosive, been a little solo Brightwing for a while now. They're taking their time, they're smelling the daisies. They're just having a nice trip. Oh, thank you, Butte. I am still lurking in your stream, just doing this while I said I would do this to the people, so I'm like, yeah, I may as well. I hold my promises, and I want to make sure that people get a fair cast, because there's been far fewer casters this season, I've found. So, may as well do what I can, just to make people a little bit happier, eh? Because I know everyone loves getting casted, and, well, somehow I just managed to roll the dice and my own team is getting casted by me, which is going to feel weird map too, but it is what it is. We do see a lot of damage coming out. Nice, Gravity Bomb hitting 2 people. Good pull by Peach, and we do see the APOC coming out. Nice, Gust getting actually a lot of the damage kind of cancelled out. And we can see 1 going down, 2 going down, 3 going down. Ruffian nearly going down to Synthesis, but does manage to back out as well. Nope, there we see the Zul going down. Synthesis, the last one to follow. And that is a very decisive fight from the side of Clouded Minds. Which, they can't quite end the cooldown. The death timers are still... I don't know why I always want to say death timers as cooldown timers. The death timers are still quite short. They may have been able to get a keep if they immediately had people push onto it. They may still do. So I don't think really the side of Greg wants to mess with that currently, which, understandable. It's a full 5-man. Just running at you. You see a ping coming out on boss. Yeah. Keep in mind the boss of Greg is still to come up. That may be up soon enough. Yep, there it is. We can see that Clouded Minds have started their boss. Good take. Greg only just getting on theirs now. I'm wondering if this is a bit too late, because it looks like Clouded Minds are making their way up. Honestly, if you have the foresight, you just leave now. That objective's right there. You just want to leave. Yep, just leech for boss. Excellent stuff. And Synthesis leaving that bush just in time. Star Knight and crew finding that the... Wait, they're starting the boss? Interesting. Right as Greg rotate away. That is unfortunate timing for the side of Greg. But Clouded Minds, they're like, hell yeah, free boss, free objective, let's go. I'm not going to swear on stream. I try not to. I do, but I try not to. Sorry. Whenever my camera work just like sits in the middle of nowhere, it's a trick. I should really use my other hand that doesn't control the mouse. I'm going to open up talent so we can just see what we have. There we go. Right, bottom boss. Oh no, bottom boss was cleared, but the bottom keep still goes down. Top boss pushing onto top keep now. And it's going to be pushing in. Right, so Greg needs to surmount quite a defense here if they want to do well. Nice APOC, barely actually missing Star Knight, does get pulled out, and actually the charge from Climbable Unk does mean they chase Star Knight all the way into Narnia. And actually, they get to live. A lot of heroics are popped there. We did see that Army of the Dead, as well as Gus to keep him alive. But meanwhile, we see APOC, Ball of Lightning, and Poison Nova popped by Greg, and no one was found with it. If you're sitting there now, you're going, what do you do? And it really is just see if you can hit a good gravo and see if you can follow up even just one person from there, as that may start turning the tides. 16s, even talent tiers for both teams. This should be a good fight, but this could also be a deciding fight if you are Cloud of Minds. If you get this could very much be the game going over to you. And while I do see the box down here that I still can't seem to get rid of, I don't know how long it is. I can only see that we're 14 minutes in on there. Right, Starlight gets a nice charge. Flip by Synthesis. Does get a little bit of damage. There is a Grammar Bomb hitting both Trelena and Peach. We see a follow-up coming out. Peach getting realised with it, but Gust once again keeps everyone live. Star Knight getting out on just 100 health. Peach as well. Global Unk drops him to 70. Nope, but he then health taps, and we actually see in the backline that it is Zul going down. Then we do see that it is the Arthas back at the front. Peach and Climble and Synthesis need to get out. Climble, Unk getting what damage they can. They can't quite stall Ruffian this time. Trelena does get pulled by Peach and will survive, getting taken out by the Anduin itself. Flip by Synthesis on Kian, meaning Snick and Corrosive and Synthesis all able to get out. Fortunately for them, Kian did run out of mana, so they are able to survive. There we go. That's much better. Me. Phase shift coming out into Snick, keeping them up. May have just been better for them to run back into core and save phase shift. But I guess we have to see how this goes. Kian gets very aggressive, unstopped pop by them. We do see the root coming out. Pull by Peach, meaning that Kian gets to live. Quest finally complete from the Felstard on that Gathering Storm, which has taken a little bit longer than you would expect. But, hey. It is what it is. Right, and we do see that it is Malthael going down there. That is, I was going to say, that's a good kill. That's the second kill that Greg's managed to pick up. They look to keep going in, but that Gust just stopped them dead in their tracks. We've got to figure out how to get things while Gust is on the board. Because this is maybe the third, fourth time this map where Gust has really stopped them from really doing what they want to do. It didn't at least stop them from getting a siege camp. That's a good start. But the other side does have 20s now, and we do see that Wind Tunnel picked up. Wind Tunnel being one of those infamous Storm Talent upgrades that is honestly amazing. It is very hard to deal with that kind of Wind Tunnel, especially if they get you into a corner such as the boss pits here. Other things to note, we do have the, I can't remember what's Death's Advance from the Arthas. No one can stop Death, Malthael, Light Bomb, upgrade, Inner Fire Anduin, and big red button on the Tychus. And guys, please tell me you do not do this boss. This boss is a terrible idea with a thing up. Oh, nice stun coming out onto the Tychus. However, that will be Snick going down first. APOC actually unstopped by Kian. And the Wind Tunnel barely finding only Synthesis, and that looks like it'll be a dead Diablo. Light Bomb hits 3 people, hit the Diablo of the Brightwing and Climble Unk stuck in Death's Advance. Well, that slow circle will go down now, and that looks like it's going to be an end call by the side of Clouded Minds. Right, but yep, we do see Cloud of Minds has gone to core. Big red button being dropped directly on top of it. Actually, that was the last thing they could use. And that looks like it will be the first game of the series going over the side of Cloud of Minds now. As the core is dropping, Synthesis tries to get a little bit of stall action going out. But no, that looks like... Oh, Diablo will be going down. Starter, pardon me, barely holding on. And that is the first game to Cloud of Minds. And I have just clicked on Tychus. Nice. Right, so for a brief moment, I thought I was still on my map view screen, and I was about to lose my mind. I'm like, no, not like this. So it's like I mean, it's just dying on the inside. Like, this is horrible. But no, I was at least streaming it. Let me just throw it over the game summary. I should really just do a hard cut here. It's just a bit quicker. In terms of damage, yeah, it was very much in favor of Clouded Mind. Singular, apparently, is what I've written. Let me just correct that before I forget to again. Just tag that S on the end. Right, yeah, Clouded Minds did excellent that game. We can see they only 2 kills for the side of Greg, while Clouded Minds did have, well, 15. Pretty shared across the board, but Malfoy picked up a lot there. And Tychus and Felstad helped. They didn't quite do as much damage, but they still at least made the lives quite hellish for for Greg. Looking at talents, though, anything stand out? Yeah, the armor from Tychus very good, considering that there wasn't really any percent damage from Greg. Similarly, Malfoy had a triple front line to go into, which you don't want happening if you are a triple frontline team, but you love to see if you're Kian. Otherwise, Andor makes sense. Ruffian makes sense. Yeah, everything else kind of makes sense. What I'm going to do is throw it over to map view screen. And actually, I do remember how this went. I do remember what the draft picks and such were, because it was... No, this. I think it's Garden. I think we went to Garden next. Which is going to be a really weird one for me to cast. Like, look, there I am, and I'm actually just going to die watching my own play, but it is what it is. Because it's really one of these heroes. It's not something you see often. It's very hard to go into if you don't know how to play, if you haven't played into them as much. So we'll see how it goes. As let's get into the game, shall we? Right, so we see Chim Chim on V May, Clumble Unk on Cassia, V Line Bus on V. That's going to feel so weird to say. You see me on Dahaka, Synthesis on the Greyman, and I think Corrosive is the only one I haven't mentioned on the Ufa. On the left hand side, we do see Ruffian on the Felsard, Peach, Anduin, Star Knight, Arthas once again, Trelena, Tychus once again. Actually, everything is the same except Kian, who is now on the Yrel, because Star Knight is still on the Arthas. Alright, let the battle begin. Let's see how this goes down. We do see everyone is meeting in the middle at first. Good old ARAM to start. Nice double root by Star Knight there, getting what they can out. We see the line bus moving down bottom, sitting in a bush. Waiting to see if they can possibly get a tongue. Then Chim Chim sitting in top bush. They're going to throw out a W maybe. Nope, we see the line bus moving first. Hitting tongue on to Arthas, pulling them back into the Blizzard. However, Peach does pull them back to safety and Star Knight gets to live. What potentially could have been their downfall. We do see the line bus uses those tunneling claws to go bottom. But Kian is soon to meet them. Right, that's the offlane. We can't know how that goes. As well as top, we see Synthesis facing off against Ruffian, which Greymane should do pretty well here, but it's not guaranteed because of that lightning. And they are still gathering Storm. We do see Frost Presence level 1 from Arthas. Enhanced Agility Dahaka, Silver Touch, Ufa, and Thunderstroke from the Cassia. I'm really going to end up watching myself far more than I should, shouldn't I, as I get hit with that. Actually, that's going to do. Let's not watch myself and embarrass myself, eh? That offlane, just keep in mind it is happening, and I can tell you it does not go great for me. But we will watch other places, as you do see the side of Greg starting the Bruiser camp, which may have been left a little bit later until just before the seed came up. Just because maybe you like the one pushing the opposite lane just because it takes longer to rotate to. Meanwhile, Cloud and Mines do get their siege camp. Siege camp, Synthesis looking to start their middle one, and Climble Unk getting bottom. Meanwhile, Line Bus and Corrosive are getting the soak in the off lanes, and Chim Chim doing what they can to get the soak in the middle. Line Bus is just vibing in a bush. We do see Corrosive is just running around top, seeing if they could stall out Ruffian. Bonk. And what's their level 4? We do see level 4 is picked up. We see Master Assassin on the Tychus. I can't remember what it's called. Frozen Waste Arthas. And Hammer Ufa. Interesting. We don't get that kind of zappy Q build with that level 1. But I do like the move speed on Hammer. We do see Chim Chim's actually going to be one in danger. Does use Slide to get out. Trelena throwing a grenade out of frustration. And Chim Chim gets to live, surprisingly enough. Right, we do see actually Synthesis and Climbable Unk stealing this top camp. Corrosive going up to help. Meanwhile, the Line Bus and Chim Chim dealing with what camps they can on the other lanes. And beside of Greg do just give objective over to Cloud of Mines. And I just watched myself with that tongue and mouth. I should really not be watching me. No, we do in fact have the other lanes kind of going on. Level 6 or level 5 Greg actually has an experience lead currently. And unlike the last game, no one has died quite yet. Chim Chim's just having a good old ponder about where we're going to stand. Meanwhile, we do see Greyman getting aggressive into Ruffian. Does need to roll out, breaking the lightning. And that little bit of invis very much helps him as well. Star Knight, Trelena sitting below him. Trelena activates a minigun, but Star Knight nowhere to... Synthesis nowhere to be found. Grosser finds Star Knight in the bush. We do see damage coming out. And it looks like Urel and Tahaka still bottom. But we do see that it is Cassia coming out now. Chim Chim tries to get combo on the Peach. Peach push back. And actually Chim Chim takes a lot of damage by Trelena for that small effort there. We do see that Urel's coming up. Both teams have 7s. And there is going to be the Tahaka now.
And don't fret about the shamblers. They don't feel a thing anymore.
Oh. Whiffs the tongue. We do see Chim Chim is, as I was going to say, in that bush. Hold for vision. Star Knight is stepping back up. They are found now, however. We can see they are stepping up over top. Trelena steps up. Minigun active. Kian gets a nice 4-man jump. Hits 3 men with a hammer. We do see now that is barely Synthesis holding on. The line bus in an awkward position in the back lines. Does get hit with a grenade. Is going to see if they can get out. Does get hit by a root. Does burrow under. Nice stun by Corrosive. Well, no, that's tunneling cause. The other one's Brush Talk. But yeah, they get to hold on. Objective still hasn't been taken. That's probably a big thing. But keep in mind, Corrosive and the line bus are out of resources. Meanwhile, the side of Cloud of Mine still very much in a good spot. Line bus stepping back up. Doesn't even need to get tongue. Ruffian just backs off. We see the tunneling claws come out. They get out of Burrow Vow, rooted. That is the line bus going down first. Then followed by Synthesis. Trelena barely holding on, which I remember was very frustrating at the time. We do see Chim Chim sliding on out. They do manage to get out. Kian not able to find the kill. And that will be a double kill for the side of Clouded Mines. We do hear Falstad flying bottom. It's going to pick up all that soak. Half that soak even. And imagine we're going to see the line bus Burrow bottom as well. Sorry. Brush Stalk bottom as well. Doesn't quite hit the tongue on the Ruffian. Ruffian does roll out. Meanwhile, we have a May versus a Arthas in the top. Snow versus Snow. A song of ice and ice. And neither team's really going to get far anywhere. Kian jumps in. Corrosive hits him on the head with a hammer. And that will be, yeah, it'll just be 2 buttons pushed and not really much to accomplish. Or actually, Kian didn't clear a wave, so that's fair enough of him. Meanwhile, Synthesis gets the bottom camp to help the line bus bottom. And it looks like Climbable Unk is getting that middle one to kind of help a mid push and to nullify those bottom siege giants.
Yet another seed. I trust you know.
Those siege giants actually getting cleared out pretty quick, but this is number C3 for free if the side of Cloud of Mine gets us. So Greg needs to really actually fight this one. And unlike last game, it will be 10s at even times this time, so they may be able to get something. So we do see Army of Dead Arthas. We see Tychus coming down Odin, Lightbomb Anduin. Urel's still got a pick. Nice Cursed Bullet coming out, hitting Star Knight directly in the head. Meanwhile, we see Gus Falstad. On the other side, we have Isolation Tahaka. Divine Shield on the Ufa. Cursed Bullet Greymane. Ball of Lightning Cassia. And Ice Wall on the May. May does Ice Wall Star Knight out. Star Knight getting a lot of damage coming out of him. Peach, however, gets the pull out. Line Bus really needed Silence or Tongue the Anduin there. But no, Peach is going to be able to get that pull into Star Knight. Star Knight gets to live just that bit longer. Meanwhile, we see Climbable Unk and Corrosive getting around as well. Tongue coming out onto the Falstad. Falstad going down. Meanwhile, we do see a Light Bomb on Peach, hitting Corrosive and Chim Chim. Synthesis and Line Bombs. The Line Bus getting aggressive, however. Line Bus backs up, knowing Urel is behind. Urel does a jump. Tongue hitting them. Curse Bullet, Hammer, dead. Nice kill there didn't let them get back in. Well, didn't let them get out at least. The line bus just halving for mana, I suppose. Chim Chim and Climball Unk also just kind of see if they can push mid. And Synthesis is going to camp top. Line bus uses Brustful to get back down. Meanwhile, we do see the side of Cloud & Mines getting their objective. Oh, not objective. I have a very bad habit of calling camps objectives recently. I have no clue why. I think it's because I joke about the samurai camps on Hanamura Temple being the objectives themselves. But we do see Peach's bottom. The line bus is also, but they won't actually have Brush Talk to get back up. I think they're going to have to walk back up manually. And we do see they are just kind of going back up now, seeing if they can stop the Anduin. Does go for a tongue, but doesn't quite find it. Meanwhile, we do see the fight coming up top. Kian gets hit with a spear. We do see Star Knight hitting the Sappers of the Shamblers of what they could. And we have a very split fight here. Line Bus gets found in a bush, does manage to dodge it. Chelena uses that dash in, Comedy Odin out, Anduin put in the ice wall. They do have Light Bomb up, and I imagine they'll be coming pretty much immediately. We do see that it is a lot of heroics being dropped out. Star Knight getting a 4-man stun with that Light Bomb. And actually, Climbable Unk going down first. Unstop comes out to Synthesis. Synthesis getting relatively low. Does go back the other way. Unfortunately, the Invisible does not keep them alive for too much longer. Chim Chim getting collapsed on by the team of Cloud & Mines. And that will be the first Plant Terror phase of the game, going over to the side of Cloud & Mines. Line Bus burrowed bottom. We do see Ruffian comes out. Tongue barely doesn't find them. We see that as Lightning coming out now broken. But let's have a look elsewhere, because I know how bottom goes. And I don't really want to see myself fail too much. We do see Stun coming out by Corrosive. Star Knight taking damage. And that's why I don't want to watch me. But Tower does go down. Arthas does complete Frost Presence. And Star Knight is going to push on up. Curse Bullet coming out. Doesn't quite find its mark. Star Knight actually getting the kill. Actually goes down to Ufa. Ufa walked into the stun of a Plant Terror. And Trelena just happened to be minigunning to finish it off. Nice Icefall by Chim Chim. It looks like this Peach is going to see what they can get. Nice double stun with that Light Bomb. And Synthesis and Chim Chim are going to need to back out. Root coming out. We do see a little bit of knockback. Does save the Greymane this time. Meanwhile, we do see Plant Terrors in the other lane. Well, Plant Terror in bottom lane still just getting cleared now. And Ruffian isn't quite going to overstay their welcome. I thought for a brief moment this person moving over here was a team member of Greg, but it was not. Plant Terrors are now going to be cleaned up in just a few moments. And the camps are going to be aggressively taken by the side of Cloud & Mines, because, yeah, they have a 2-level lead. You may as well take full advantage of it. Climbable Unk having a little cheeky nose. Does see that the side Cloud & Mines are on the objective, on the camp. So their cheeky nose lets them know that they are there. Right. Camp being doing by the side, both teams. Greg picking up theirs, Cloud & Mines picking up their own now. And this is really... Greg needs to once again get all this soak back. Yrel is soaking the offlane, really not giving Greg the chance to get back in it in terms of experience. As they do always have someone in the offlane. You can even see here that 2 lanes are being covered by both teams. Neither team is inherently going to catch up or lose the other. Right. Kian on the camp alone, and it looks like we're going to get an invade from Greg. Actually, the whole team is coming up, does take the camp. Kian having to back out. The team doesn't quite find it, but that will be it. And then we want Star Knight's found underneath, and that's a lot of damage coming out. Paul comes out somehow finding only the Arthas. Peach is a little bit out of position. Gus a little bit anti-synergistic there. There's Heroics coming out, and that actually looks like it's the side of Greg deciding to leave. Which... yeah, fair enough. Only because, like, actually, they've pushed a lot of buttons for up 16, so let's just go away. First start flies bottom. And that will be objective just quickly picked up by Cloud of Mines once again. We're at a 1-for-1 in terms of seeds now. And Greg just decided to siege top. You can see Kian is solo laning, just split pushing, getting what... Man, it's that quick to clear away. I really need to learn how to play Yrel. Yrel's one of those ones I just don't understand. We see now there is going to be a little bit of a battle bottom as the line bus burrows. Kian, however, decides, actually, I don't want a battle, and backs out. A little bit mistiming there by the W on the line bus, but it is what it is. Oh god, it feels so weird referring to myself in third person. Because I don't want to say me, because that's weird. But also saying the line bus when referring to myself feels really weird as well and somewhat pretentious. But no, it is what it is. I rolled the dice. I spun the wheel. This is what we chose. I should have figured out... Oh, a little bit of anti-synergistic there. The Ice Wall actually saves Star Knight. We can see now a full 5v5's coming out. Even talent at least, which is fair enough. You see Chim Chim takes damage. The line bus steps up. Finds the tongue onto Arthas. Light Bomb coming out. Finding 2 once again. Synthesis and the line bus getting stunned. And Star Knight's actually pulled by Anduin. Is going to hold on. And Arthas is just eating that army of the dead. Making sure they get to live. Tongue coming out onto Shalena. And that is actually Yrel going down first. Shalena soon to follow. That's a quick 2 kills for the side of Greg. And they actually find the third. And that is what they were needing. Line bus standing in the most inconvenient spot possible. But looks like it's because they immediately want to go on bottom. Ruffian flies down. Seed picked up by the side of Cloud of Mines. And the line bus actually meets Ruffian there. Ruffian not actually able to get away with too much bottom. Aggressive pings coming up. Murders to get. Go here, go here, go here. And Ruffian does back to safety at least. They are unable to get found. And Corrosive goes to check for Bush, but nobody is home. Right, and we do see that Chim Chim and Synthesis very aggressive. The line bus burrows on up, thinking they can get a kill, but nope. There is nothing to be found there. They may have just been more a deterrent than anything else at that point. Next seed coming up. This would actually be Plant Terrors for the side of Greg. I don't know if it necessarily does much just because of how pushed out everything is. But it can still get a decent amount done. Kian has been spotted by Chim Chim and the line bus. But does choose to back out. They do look like they're just going to clear waves instead. But that is because there is a seed between the side of... there's Cloud of Mines between the side of Greg and whatever I was going to say. Root coming out to climb. Curse Bullet hitting Star Knight directly over here. Corrosive getting aggressive. We see the line bus even more so. Star Knight relatively low. Hits Light Bomb into a decent amount. D-Shield coming out on the line bus. We do see then Trelena was hit with that isolation. Gust from Ruffian saving Kian a little bit longer. Kian didn't actually quite have that Ardent Defender up, so that was a very important Gust to keep him alive. You can see the team of Greg is taking a bit. Yeah, it does feel weird saying... Okay, yeah, I am bad with my pronunciation, so I know it's that line bus, but I am lazy. And we actually see Plant Terrors were found. Corrosive was able to sneak that. We obviously Star Knight goes down. Not quite your want, but however, Chim Chim is traded. So, tank for tank. That is the... Corrosive then follows. Then we do see healer for healer. So we're getting tank, healer. Are we also going to get damage as we do see that Climbable Unk is holding on. A little bit of healing coming out from that ghost form of Clouded Mines. Not Clouded Mines, Corrosive. And that is a ton coming out from the line bus. However, it looks like he's not wanting to commit to that. It's just kind of waddles away and for the very next day. Bum, 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 bum. Right, Synthesis is now showing mid. We see line bus showing top. And it's actually even 20. So, while Cloud of Mines did have the lead for a while, it evened up once again. Well, I think it was down 15 to 13 at one point. This map. But we can see that Greg has managed to come back and get 20s at roughly the same time. So, in speaking of the 20s, we have Arthas thinking about his. I imagine it's going to be Death's Advance. But let's talk about Greg first, because they have all of theirs picked. We have Contagion Dahaka. We have Redemption Ufa. Tooth and Claw. Yeah, Tooth and Claw on the Grey main. Infinite Lightning on the Cassia. And the big one, May. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have that ever painful to look at wind tunnel if you are Felstad. Just wind tunnel, such a good talent. Bubble half from the Urel, interesting one. I know you don't see Urel often, and usually you typically see Seraphim at level 20, if I recall. Yeah, it's Seraphim, I believe, just because it can get you out of a lot of danger, but I guess Bubble half does the same thing, just it puts you out of a fight as well. We see Light Bomb Anduin, we see Big Red Button Tychus, and we do see that Death's Advance once again. I think it's Death's Advance. Yeah, Death's Advance once again from the Arthas. Chim Chim, considering showing for a brief moment, decides not to. At this point, you don't... God, I've a yawn. At this point, you don't need to... Ooh. A little bit of anti-synergy there. Once again, Ice Wall coming out. I don't know if this camp is the best thing to do. In saying that, Greg has absolutely torn it apart. Chim Chim taking a lot of damage. Does get rid of my Starlight D-Shield coming out. And that is a nice Light Bomb from Anduin, only hitting one member of the Line Boss. We do see fight coming out. There's Infinite Lightning coming out. Bubble half stops the Lightning Ball from keep going. The Line Boss needs to pop Essence to stay alive. Peach getting relatively low. Chim Chim slides in. And that is going to be a lot of buttons pushed for no one dying. That is excellent for both teams. I think it is actually a bit better for the side of Cloud & Mines because Greg now missing some of those ever important tools such as Divine Shield for their kind of more aggressive style heroes of Greymane and Cassia. Especially Greymane. Greymane struggles a little bit into this. Arthas auto attack slows can do a lot, and yeah. Chim Chim in danger, taking a lot of damage. Slides out in time. Curse Bullet hitting Trelena. We do see a Line Bar stepping up to get a tongue. Doesn't quite do so. Burrow, use those burrowing claws a little bit early. Icewall doesn't find Trelena, and that is objective going over the side of Cloud & Mines. Right. Oh god, yawning time. I need... Oh god. There we go. I need like a counter. It's just every time I yawn because I'm tired. Not because I'm bored, because I'm very excited. I'm interested in these matches. Obviously, I'm in this one, so that makes me all the more interested. But we do have everyone starting to run it down. Right, and I imagine we're going to see another fight when this objective comes up. There's a little bit of a gank push coming up. All 5 members are bottom already for the side of Cloud & Mines and Greg. However, it is showing. We do see the Line Buzz showing top while the rest rotate down outside of vision. But the thing about Dahaka is, you know he's going to appear in a bush at some point. He has that burrow up. He has tunneling. He has the Brush Stalker up. He can just dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. We do see him coming bottom into a pretty safe bush where we know, well, where the team has vision. They check bush. Line Buzz body checks. Climb Ball Unk does Q check it. But yeah, it looks like we're going to fight now. If the side of Cloud & Mines get this, they may end up ending here. They have a seed available to them. This fort's already relatively low. Greg really need this fight to survive. We do see Chim Chim stepped up. The early heal by Corrosive. We see no healing left on them. Suddenly everything makes a little bit of sense. And that's, Ruffian sitting below, ready with a gust. Peach steps up. We do see Synthesis going in on them. And that is actually Peach holding on. Looks like about... Oh, yep, he is going to be a bit fuming at that. It looks about Blizzard's range. We do see coming back. D-Shield coming out onto Synthesis. However, as I say, I think Urel is going to kill him. No, she gets stunned before she can land. However, that is Synthesis and Chim Chim going down. We see the Line Buster soon to follow. Corrosive getting chased out. And that looks like that may be the game going on. Oh, no. We do see Anduin is channeling the objective. Peach getting it. And we do see now the side of Cloud & Mines are pushing into Greg. Starlight actually taking a decent amount of damage. Does have to back out. Does eat VR and Q. And actually... Felstar just died, man. That bird dead. That Berndorf dead. We do see Corrosive hits Kian on the head with a hammer. But that looks like it may be the Plant Terror marching straight to core. And it looks like it may be an end call for the side of Cloud & Mines. Greg, I don't know if he'll be up in time. Synthesis is up in just a few seconds now. And the line burst not soon after that. Corrosive and Climbable Unk, they do need to kind of get aggressive here if they want to stop the team from ending. Star Knight getting ran down by Corrosive, does get hit with stun, and there's Star Knight going down. Meanwhile, we do see Blind coming out to Kian. Plant Terror just going down now, however, it's a little too late. And that will be the game and the series going over to the side of Cloud of Mines. GG's called by both sides. Well played. And yeah, even though I'm like casting these games and I do see it doesn't go. And even though I see it doesn't go too well for me, I do still like at least giving everyone a chance to be casted, especially my own team. My own team, I feel like, hasn't been casted too much this season, which, unfortunate, as I do think it does kind of harshen the experience a little, that seeing other teams get cast and you not. So that's why I do at least like casting my own team in these situations. And I do like quite a few members of Cloud of Mine, so I'm more than happy to cast them. And even though we lost, it's not too better for me, as I know at least had fun at the end of the day, which is all we can really ask for. Anyway, in terms of talents, anything that stands out here, Gildan Cocktail build from Greymane. I know it became more popular as of late, but it's interesting to see that then picked up with things such as Alpha Killer and Tooth and Claw. I don't know if this quite works when you have things such as Arthas with that constant auto attack slow. It may be the most questionable thing with that build, but it's neither here nor there. I also don't really play Greymane, so it's hard for me to tell. I do like Divine Speed. Excellent escape for Uriel, but she also had Bubble Half at V20, so I don't know realistically how much this was needed if you're Uriel, but this definitely does help rotations. Maybe better to see QM, unsure. Like the Anduin build, I like Tychus's build. I do like Relentless Soldier. It may not have been as good this match as the last one, just because May doesn't inherit. May isn't just a I'm going to absolutely poop out stuns. She is one stun, and that's about it. But same for Dahaka, one stun. Oh, actually, with a stun as well. Yeah, no, Relentless Soldier makes more and more sense the more I talked it through out loud. Anyway, looking at stats, very comparable healing between both the Anduin and the Uther. However, Anduin did have around 8k more. Damage much closer this game, but it was just a much closer game. In general, we can see a 1k difference between the two top people of each team, and about a 6k difference between Falstad and Dahaka for Soak, but Dahaka did beat out Uriel in the Soak, sorry. The 6k difference was in siege damage. You're right, that is going to be the first series done. So what I'm going to do in the break is I am going to spin my wheel, pick up the next cast, and what am I going to do next? And yeah, I'll message the teams and get things kind of rolling. So I'll see you guys in a few moments. So I'm going to put it on the ending screen and vibe.